It's ugly boy, dude. It's ugly boy.
What's going on, YouTube, man? Hopefully everybody having a great day. Hopefully everybody's safe, you know what I'm saying, throughout the holiday period. If you're not safe, you know what I'm saying, hopefully you can get safe. But in this video, I'm going to talk about pretty much Stay 21 tips. So if you guys are sending packages in, that's fine. I'd much rather you do that than to just ask for, hey, what advice can you give me? Can you send me your package? And things like that. But be careful when you send in like stuff to myself or you sending stuff to other people. What I'm talking about is your correspondence, especially evals, letters of recommendation, things of that nature. Just be careful to take all of your personal information off of that stuff if you don't want that stuff to be on the internet just floating around. And what I mean by personal information, definitely social security numbers, names, addresses, other people's names and addresses, other people's telephone numbers, stuff like that. If you don't want that stuff to be just out there on the internet, make sure you white it out by using PDF whiteout, or you could just go into whatever, Paint, and just cover that stuff up. Now, this just doesn't only apply to stuff that you send to me. This applies to stuff that you send to anybody else, right? You just want to make sure that you cover all bases to make sure your information is secure, because I'm not asking you to send this stuff encrypted. I'm not asking you to send this stuff through anything that requires a password or anything like that. So make sure as you send stuff through regular email traffic that could easily get sent to somebody else or just get lost in the sauce and you don't know where your information is going, really, just make sure you cover that stuff up. And this is information that you should pass down to everybody and everybody that's sending information back and forth. Just, you got to protect yourself. Even if you're at work, you know what I'm saying, you pull your cat card reader out, just make sure that you keep your stuff intact. Another thing is, make sure you're asking the right questions, especially on Facebook. I see a lot of people just blatantly asking people for the answers to the test. Like, hey, can you give me your package since you got selected last cycle? Keep in mind that a lot of these people might not even have their full package. And honestly, what does a package really consist of, especially a Stay 21 package? You got, like, you know what I'm saying, some stuff that's stated that's going to be on everybody's package, right? But you also got a lot of stuff that's a lot of personal stuff that may be awards, waivers, letters of recommendation, stuff like that, that's going to be different to each and every person, right? So the stuff that you really need to see is going to be stuff that's, you know what I'm saying, like your cover letter. You might want to see a personal statement to see how it's written or something like that. But be careful what you really asking for, because if you asking for just the answers, then you might get the answers, but you don't know how much it really took to get that package looking the way it needs to look. Some of the common things that I'm seeing wrong with a lot of packages that I receive is you need to make sure your name matches as much as possible on every piece of correspondence that you have in that manual, from your evals to your letters of recommendation, the letters that the board writes, all of your interviews. I see a lot of people's names that look a little bit different. Like sometimes his name would be Joseph A. Blank, and then they have on one page Joseph A. Blank the second, and another page it have Joe A. Blank, and then it has Joe A. Blank the second. Make sure that your name is consistent as much as possible. Does that really matter? Is it going to impede you from your package getting looked at or getting selected? Probably not, maybe so, who knows? But just make sure that everything is as you want it, right? As close to detail as possible. That's pretty much all a package is. It's just you putting together correspondence, and it's showing that you know how to follow directions, and you also know where to find the Navy correspondence manuals. So then I see a lot of people missing page numbering. So your page might have one of one, right? You will have a page that's one of one. If you only have one page, you don't have to put that number one at the bottom of that page. But if you have page of one of two, then you want to have, you know, that number 2 on that second page, or that number 3 on the third page. And the same thing goes for enclosures. The reason why that's there is so that your enclosures match exactly what it's talking about. So if somebody's flipping through your package, they can find what they're talking about just by knowing that indication of page 1, 2, and 3, or enclosure 1, enclosure 2, etc. But yeah, those are just some key things that I've seen in the package people are sending in. Make sure that your PII is taken care of. Make sure that your page numbering is on point, and also make sure your enclosures are there as well. Obviously, you know, all the little pages are going to have different stuff that you need to pay attention for, and that's where I come in, right? So you send your package in as completed as possible, right? And then I will tell you what I see and what I don't see, and I'm gonna take an honest look at it. I'm not just gonna look at it and just be like, here you go. So you might get like a 2 to 3 day turnaround. You know what I'm saying? It might even be a week, who knows? But I'm gonna make sure I get back to you, and if it's taking longer than a week, best believe I'm gonna send you a message telling you that, hey, I'm still looking at your package. As always, man, I appreciate the support. I really do. Make sure you share the video, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.